They should be taken in the fucking square and they should be assassinated. They should be put a bullet right in their fucking head if you with little children. So more people tuned in
to the halftime show.
How does that make sense? When the
halftime show is a big deal for the Super Bowl because
bullshit. Because how does that make sense when half of the fucking players?
Let me tell you.
Wait, half of the players on the NFL came out and said they don't want to watch this.
Garnered 137 million views.
Himi lama homo. Himi lama homo.
TP USA had a separate, actually, a halftime show with more conservative artists.
Yes.
But what's your take on this?
First of all, I don't believe those numbers.
Really?
Don't believe them.
Why not?
I just don't. Because I was working in a business, and majority of the people during the Super Bowl wanted this fucking off the TV. So I had 2 cable boxes.
You wanted 2 off the TV.
This.
Oh.
During the halftime. And they watched it from beginning to the halftime. They didn't get their eyes off the TV. Then I had 4 women in there who would just wouldn't shut the fuck up and talking through the whole first half. Wouldn't stop. And when I went to go shut the other cable box and put it on ESPN, 2 of the women go, "What are you doing? We want to watch Bad Bunny."
Yeah.
So I said, "Okay, you can watch Bad Bunny." So I had 2 cable boxes, 4 TVs. One of the cable boxes I put on ESPN.
This is at the cigar shop?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the other guys didn't want to watch it.
Okay.
You know, one guy said, "Oh, if it was Kid Rock, he would have left them all on 4." And I said, "Did you see Kid Rock on the TV? You saw ESPN highlights and you saw Bad Bunny. I don't take sides. I'm not going to go, well, I'm going to spite you and put on the Kid Rock show."
So why do you think the numbers are not organic?
What's the numbers of people watching the Super Bowl?
They had 137 million.
And how many people watched the halftime show?
I don't know how many people watched the halftime
That's
show.
what I want to know.
But I think, Tom, I don't know if you can pull it up. We should, here. The game average was 125 million viewers.
Okay, which isn't the biggest.
Making the second most watched Super Bowl ever.
Okay.
Excuse me. Let me correct myself. Bad Bunny's halftime show was 128 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the people watching the Super Bowl?
125, 124.9.
Oh, so more people tuned in
to the halftime show.
How does that make sense? When the
halftime show is a big deal for the Super Bowl because
bullshit. Because how does that make sense when half of the fucking players?
Let me tell you.
Wait, half of the players on the NFL came out and said they don't want to watch this. Half of the owners of the NFL came out and said I don't want to watch this. You're telling me that half of the people watching the NFL that I know many people that switched over or shut it off, and they're saying more people viewed the Bad Bunny concert more than the NFL? That's bullshit.
Okay, look at this logic, okay?
That's logic.
There's a lot of people who don't watch NFL. However, they tune in to watch the halftime show because it's like a mini concert.
Who? Do you know people like that?
A lot of people.
I don't know anybody like that.
I'm not a big NFL guy. I don't watch a lot of NFL.
People go to NFL parties.
I watched the Super Bowl. Okay, I watched the entire game. Yeah. It was an okay game. I thought the last year's game was much better. Okay, they were losing up until the third quarter. It was like 12-0 or something. Anyways,
yeah, they couldn't.
They were losing, and the halftime show came on, and my entire family came on to watch the halftime show because it's like a concert.
So they just throw this number out there. So
it's not throwing.
It is throwing.
No,
it is.
If you're saying it's throwing, that means they're throwing the numbers for the NFL as well. So how are they throwing these numbers?
How is the halftime show have more viewers? How does a halftime show have more viewers than the game?
I just told you because there's a lot of people who do not watch the NFL. However, they would watch Bad Bunny. Remember, he's a Puerto Rican.
What about all the people? What about all the half of the 123?
He's a Spanish artist.
Okay, half of the 123 million people watching the NFL shut the half halftime
They
off.
did not shut it off. That's what I'm saying.
They did shut it off. They went to, I think,
It's the opposite.
no.
More people tuned in during the halftime.
You're telling me that when the first election with Donald Trump,
Okay.
I was working at the Continental Cigar Lounge.
Okay.
At 9:30 at nighttime, Donald Trump was up in all of the swing states about 4 million plus votes.
Okay.
Then at 9:30 they said we're stopping Pacific time now. They said we're stopping counting and we're not going to start counting again in the morning.
Okay.
They shut it down. And when they started counting in the morning, Joe Biden was up 4 million votes.
Interrupt you for a
That's
second.
8 million votes.
Hold on, okay, hold on.
It's the same thing.
I don't know where you're going with this.
It's
but hold on.
bullshit.
So I was right, actually. I was right initially. So the audience for the Sunday's game peaked at about 138 million people during the second quarter, which is the halftime show. Second quarter is the halftime show. Okay, Bad Bunny's halftime show averaged about 128 million viewers at from 8:15 to 8:30, a 15-minute halftime show. So this would make the fourth most watched halftime show behind Kendrick Lamar, which was last year, Michael Jackson, and Usher in 2024. So yeah, listen, he's a big artist. He's a massive artist. He's a Latino artist, and by the way, he's a U.S. citizen. He's from.
I know who Michael Jackson is. I know who Usher is. I know who and I don't even listen to rap, and I don't even like rap. And I know who Kendrick Lamar was, and I know who Drake is. I'd never heard of this guy. Never heard of this guy until he was the
big. Why do you think he was on the halftime show?
Because bull fucking shit. Jay-Z, who that piece of shit, Jay-Z who fucks little girls and little boys with his wife, okay, who are now on the Epstein list. Roger Goodell, that cocksucker, put him in charge of the halftime shows. That's why they all suck. Because there's no musicians on the halftime show.
Okay,
it's all pre-recorded music with a bunch of people jumping around to the fucking music, lip syncing.
Okay. But besides that, what'd you think of the show? Did you like it?
No, I didn't watch it.
Oh, you didn't watch it at all?
I won't watch it. No, there's no musicians there. I'm not going to listen to some.
Why?
Look, first of all, we were all told that this fucking guy was going to come on with his LGBTQ dressed like. Remember, it was in the thing. He was going to dress in drag, and he was going to bash the United States. This is what I read everywhere.
But he didn't.
Of course, he didn't. Which is why it's all bullshit. They did this to rile people up.
So you're saying that he should have done that? I don't get it.
No. I'm saying they said he was going to do it. I don't want to watch that.
Those were just
if they didn't say
pure speculations. I mean, it
doesn't matter. If somebody says to you, this artist is going to come on and he's going to talk shit about Armenians and Armenia and how they're all this and that, are you going to sit there and watch him perform?
No, that's
okay. Well,
I don't know if I would sit and watch and perform, but this is not race bashing or talking about a specific group of people.
The mainstream media on all fucking networks said this guy was going to come out and fucking bash America.
Well, he didn't, and he carried the American flag first.
And that's what I'm saying is I didn't watch it.
Said, God bless the United States.
I didn't watch it because that's what they said his act was going to be.
Well, I watched it. I liked it. It was a good show. He had Lady Gaga on.
Oh,
and all the pundits
she's
out
a
there
fucking Disney LGBTQ asshole.
Okay, all the pundits out there that were shedding on the halftime show because it wasn't in English. Okay,
that doesn't bother me.
I didn't have a problem with that. Honestly, half of America is Latino. So and he's well, maybe a little bit less, but a lot of America is a lot of Latino.
That's because they were here when we got here.
Yeah, but that's not the point. What I'm trying to say, there's a bunch of Latino-speaking people, Spanish-speaking people in America. And on top of that, he's...
Who I guarantee didn't watch this because of the rhetoric.
Well, no, actually they did. That's why the numbers were so spiked up during the halftime show.
That's because the Karens are watching
Latino people, Spanish people that don't watch the NFL, however, wanted to watch Bad Bunny during the halftime. That's why you had a 3-4 million increase during the halftime.
That's what you're told. That's what you're told, like the Twin Towers came down because of and they found the passports on the ground. That's what you're told, man. The NFL is so fucking powerful. It's so powerful that they will fly somebody from to play a game.
Listen, I liked the show. I thought it was a good show. I thought it was an interesting show. I liked it that he carried the American flag first in front of all the other flags in the Americas. Yes, did he make it a little bit, Latino, and I'm okay with that. I don't care. I thought it was a good show. He had Lady Gaga on. He had Ricky Martin on, of all people.
I'm okay with Ricky Martin. I'm not
Ricky
okay
Martin,
with Lady Gaga.
Is he not an American artist? He also speaks in.
I don't listen to that
he
music.
He also sings in Spanish. I don't listen to Bad Bunny either.
Yeah.
Very seldomly I've listened to any one of these songs, and even if I did, I didn't even know it's him. I just know he's a big artist, and that's why he was on stage. Okay.
Don't call him an artist. Call him a performer.
A performer. Okay. What is an artist?
A person that creates something from nothing.
So when you create a lyric or a song from nothing, what are you?
He's not. His music's all created on fucking computers. It's all pre beats. Like you go on and you say, I want this song in the key of C.
An artistic performer.
I would call a guy like Leonard Bernstein.
John Lennon.
I would call George Martin, who created all the Beatles music, put it together. They wrote it, and he was that's more of an artist. Paul McCartney, an artist. John Lennon, an artist.
Ella Fitzgerald.
Marvin Gaye.
Frank Sinatra.
Ella Fitzgerald is an artist. I don't think she really wrote or created anything.
Tony Bennett
is a performer. I think you want to talk about... Good.
So you're telling me this guy who makes music in today's age isn't a modern day artist?
No. So you want to throw artists at people like you throw genius at people, like people throw the GOAT at people. Oh, just because they're doing it now, he hasn't accomplished what many artists have already accomplished. I'm going to save the artist category, artist label for a lot of these young people until they prove, that they are artists.
But don't you think different generations have different definitions for what an artist is? Think about it.
Okay, take the lyrics of most Beatles songs and put them up against the lyrics of the best song, the most popular song this guy wrote. Translate them to English and put them side by side.
We can't really relate because it's in Spanish.
No, it's not. It's not even. Hold up here. It's not even that, Joe. It's the definition of what art is throughout history. 1 million years ago, a cave painting, a caveman drew something on the cave, the cave wall. Mm-hmm. That's art in my eyes.
Okay.
1,500 years.
My kids create art.
1,500 years ago.
My kids create art. They draw on the sidewalk.
They create art.
Okay, but I don't call them an artist.
They are an artist if they create art.
No, I mean so an artist is somebody who creates art professionally. If you create art, like you said, my kids draw on a piece of paper too. They're not artists.
So my friend who creates art, but
this is art. This is art. She's an artist.
So
am I an artist? I created that.
I'm saying take the computer away from this motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Give him a piano and a guitar, and say, write me a song. And if you can't go.
Okay, I got one more thing to come back with you. So let's say Beethoven or Bach. It was all on the piano, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
What do you mean?
Beethoven was deaf.
But he played the piano.
He played the piano.
Are you kidding me?
No, but he was deaf. Yeah, so it was more vibrations. It was more vibrations for him.
Would you consider that art?
Of course. No? Absolutely.
Okay. Now let's go to 1958, 1959.
Well, no, I wouldn't consider it art.
Beethoven is not an artist?
No, I wouldn't consider it art.
Composer? Is a composer an artist? Did he perform?
I don't know. I wasn't alive then.
Did. None of us were.
He performed for kings and queens.
He performed for kings and queens all over the world.
Okay, back to my topic, please.
You're putting this guy in the same category as Beethoven?
I'm not putting them in the same
No, we're just trying to define the artist.
Just listen to me and don't interrupt me. I rarely speak on this show. Rarely ever.
This is good.
Let's go to 1958, 1959, Buddy Holly.
Yeah.
Was he an artist?
No.
You don't think Buddy Holly,
he didn't live long enough,
one of the creators of rock and roll, isn't an artist?
No.
Are you kidding me?
No. He wasn't around long enough. He wasn't around long enough.
Tom quits. Tell him I
quit. First of all, James Dean had 3 movies, right? He played incredible. He was great in Giant, East of Eden. He was okay in Rebel Without a Cause. And he was good in Giant up until he had to play an old guy, which then he sucked because he wasn't believable.
So you measure an artist with a lifespan?
No, but you got to put some stuff out. You could do this incredible piece of art And that's it. You have one.
Okay.
Does that mean you're an artist? And then you go back to...
Rebuttal.
Go ahead.
So Kurt Cobain is not an artist because he only lived up till he's 26.
How many albums does he have? 3?
3, yeah. That's it.
Yeah. I don't know if he's an artist. I couldn't tell you that.
There's a lot of artists. Usually artists die young.
I think we throw around...
Like great artists.
I think we throw around the word genius. I think we throw around the word GOAT. Everybody's the GOAT. Everybody's a genius. You write 3 fucking songs and they're hits, and you're like, oh, this guy's a musician, genius. You know, a musical genius. I think when that means everything is an art. Everybody's an artist. I shit on the stairs and stepped in it, and I took a picture and I made a piece of art out of it. So now I'm an artist.
Abstract art. Not all art is the same.
I understand that, but I think we need to not call everybody that picks up a guitar
the greatest of all time. I'm with you. That gets, like you said, it gets thrown around all the time. I'm not calling Bad Bunny the GOAT.
No,
I'm not calling
absolutely
Buddy Holly
not.
The GOAT. I'm not calling Mozart or Beethoven the GOAT.
They are the GOATs, but yeah. Mozart, Beethoven, Bach, they're massive.
Everyone has
GOATs.
a different opinion, bro.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, I can't listen to Mozart all the time. I can't listen to a whole album of that.
Yeah.
I can't listen to a whole thing of Beethoven, but I can listen to a whole album of Prince. I can listen to a whole album of Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson was the GOAT for sure. Prince was, I think, he's a massive artist too. Big guy.
I think I got to say, I think the Beatles are probably one of the most influential bands of our lifetime. If you watch the progression of their music, and they learned their music by playing on stage. They couldn't play when they started, so they got together and they played like so many times a day and on stage that they learned their instruments. A lot of the jazz musicians, and I just think that these terms are thrown around too frivolously.
Let's take a look at this GOAT, okay? Former Miss North Florida stripped of crown over transgender policy refusal. I don't know if you know about this story.
Yeah, I saw this today.
Yeah, so Kylie Bush won Miss North Florida preliminaries in September of 24, but organizers stripped her crown 2 months later when she wouldn't sign the Miss America contract, affirming that a fully transitioned biological male qualifies as a woman to compete in the same competition as she does.
So this is called discrimination, and she has a lawsuit.
Yeah.
And they should take all the fucking money off her.
Take a look at this.
Looking to compete for Miss America, but then they took your Florida crown off you because you made statements about sort of transgender?
Yes, that is exactly right. I was asked to sign a contract that was different than the first one that I had agreed to because they had changed it 4 weeks after I rightly won. And so I didn't lose my crown because I broke a rule. I lost the crown because I was unwilling to rewrite the truth.
And were you super upset, obviously, when you lost your crown and then Miss Cheerleaders America reached out to you and said, hey, we will honor you?
Yes, it was heartbreaking, it was confusing, it was disappointing because Miss America has been honoring women for over 100 years and now they can't even define what a woman is.
I wholeheartedly, of course, agree with her stance. But besides that, you know what I want to commend her for?
What?
That when you believe in something, regardless of all costs, you still continue believing that.
But she didn't speak about it. This guy says, because you spoke about your views on trans. She didn't say anything bad about it. She said she's not going to sign a contract. She already signed a contract. She's not going to sign another one.
It. Yeah, exactly.
So there's no negative. There's no anti-trans in her fucking. She's not saying they should all be taken into a jail cell and fucking killed.
Yeah. She's
just saying, I already signed this form.
And I don't believe in it.
And I don't believe it. So if they gave me this form before, I wouldn't have signed it either.
Yeah.
So that's what she's saying. But, of course, the mainstream media, legacy media, whatever you want to fucking call it, has nothing to talk about. I mean, they have a lot to talk about, but they don't want to talk about the Somalians because that's not a good thing. They'd rather talk about this shit.
I want to understand, though, why is this coming out now when this is from 2024? That's interesting, you know? Maybe we should invite her to the show, Tom. Yeah, let's throw her invite. But yeah, props to her for standing up for her beliefs, her Christian beliefs, and she's not trashing, like you said, anybody. She's totally just, reiterating what she believes in, and that's it. But on a
So wait a minute. Are you going to give her a Mrs. Social
venture crown?
No, sash.
A sash? Oh yeah, why not?
So she comes out, she could be Mrs. Social Venture.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll crown her as Miss Burbank. But on a transgender note, there were 9 people dead in Canada. Okay, so an 18-year-old local resident, Jesse Van Rootseller, carried out an attack at Trumbull Ridge Secondary School on February 10, killing 6 inside the school, mostly 12 and 13-year-olds. And one was en route to the hospital, and 2 relatives at nearby home before dying by suicide. So this guy, he killed himself, or I don't know if should we call him or her. I don't know what to call her.
He killed himself.
Yeah, so he
did it, not her.
He killed it, and this just over
Freak.
and over again proves that
They have mental illness.
There's something wrong.
There's mental illness. I've been saying this forever, and I gotta. Oh, you shouldn't say that, friends. No, it's a mental illness. I'm not saying it's bad or it's good. It's a mental illness.
There might be somebody who is sanely wanted to transition, but maybe out of 100, there's 2 of these types of people. But I would say the 98 would definitely have some sort of a mental inclarity.
Well, I was listening to Dr. Drew the other night, and he had a guest on, and it was like, I believe she was an attorney or something, and she says that there are now a lot of lawsuits going up against these medical firms that have advocated for these young people to transition because they're no longer happy with what they are. They're really upset that they did it because at a young age they were told, "Oh, you're somebody in somebody's body. Oh, well, let's take care of that, and we're going to give you this medicine. Then I'm going to cut off your tits, and then we're going to cut off your penis, and then we're going to fold it in and all this stuff." And then the person hits their mid-20s, late 20s, and they're like, I'm fucked up, man. I don't feel right. I'm very unhappy the way I look now.
And there's so many people like that out there.
Yes, and it's a sad state. First of all, you have to go through lots of therapy. I don't believe in therapy myself for me, but I believe that if these people think that there is another person inside their body dictating that they're not that sex, they need to go through years of therapy. And after those years of therapy, then you make those decisions if you want to do this transformation.
Do you think these types of people, we can blame the parents in any way?
Of course you can.
The Pam Bondi video when she's at the Senate hearing or the congressional hearing, which one is it? She's talking about the cover-ups. Pam Bondi's talking about stock markets gains during a testimony on her cover-up of child trafficking. So this is what I'm talking about. It's interesting how this administration can constantly talk about transparency, that they're super transparent, they released everything, and then this happens.
The Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000, and the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe.
Who's tying these little kids up? Taking pictures of them like this. That's what I want to know. Is this real?
Yeah, that's real. That's from the Epstein files.
But is it real?
Yeah, it's real. It's from the Department of Justice website.
I can show you some really
crazy photos.
Disturbing, disgusting things.
Have you seen Jeffrey Epstein running around after that little girl in the kitchen? Have you seen that video?
No.
You don't want to see it.
I want these people if you know who it is, take them out into the square and blow their fucking heads off.
You know what's my verdict?
What?
Doesn't matter what administration it is. It doesn't matter if it was Trump, Obama, Hillary, Kamala Harris. All of this it's a theater, it's a stage, and we are the audience, but everything has been choreographed, and it's just coming out as it is scripted and choreographed.
Remember Cabbage Patch? No, you probably don't remember the Cabbage Patch the craze. Okay. They would just hold back. I worked at Toys R Us back then in the mid 80s. And they would hold back on letting these Cabbage Patch out because everybody wanted one. And they said, oh, we only got 10. So they had a constant audience of people waiting for those Cabbage Patches to be released. It's the same philosophy. It's the same fucking thing. The news media and the politicians want to keep you fucking on the edge of your seat. Entertained. They give you a little. Remember I told you this last year. They give you a little bit now. They'll give you a little. I don't give a fuck. If you have pictures of somebody molesting or hurting children, girls, whether little girls, teenage girls, little boys, teenage boys, those people, if you have pictures and videos and you have proof, there's no need for let's take them to court and let's have an attorney try to fucking get them off. They should be taken in the fucking square and they should be assassinated. They should be put a bullet right in their fucking head if you fuck with little children.